The European Union gave 100 million euros for France to do this Olympics. So they took your tax
money.
money,
They took your money to do
tax
this.
money, and they're making fun of Jesus Christ.
I believe most of you are Christians. I'm a Muslim, yes? This is Romania, it's supposed to be the most Christian country in Europe. You cannot allow them to desecrate something as important as the Last Supper.
So I'm going to play another video for you. Boycott the Olympics, right? You would think that you would see a lot more of this happening, but what you see is just a lot of the same echo chambers. Those that always speak out, speaking out, and those who normally don't speak out, continuing to be timid, shy, bashful, and not speak out. And then you have people who are not even Christians speaking out against them offending Christians. And I'm going to give you an example right here. I have to have a great deal of respect for Andrew Tate. And I know that he's very popular. And he's actually standing up, a huge amount of respect from me for just willing to stand up when the body of Christ refuses to stand up.
I believe most of you are Christians. I'm a Muslim, yes? This is Romania, it's supposed to be the most Christian country in Europe. You cannot allow them to desecrate something as important as the Last Supper with transsexuals and little children, pedophilia. There has to be a point you stand up for your beliefs. If you have something in life and you don't stand up for it, it will not last. If you have a house, you don't maintain it, it will fall down. Business, you don't work, it's gone. Relationship, you don't take care of her, she'll leave you. It's the same with religion. If you Christians don't start standing up for things, when they mock you publicly and openly, you'll have no religion left.
Big point. If you don't stand up, you will have no religion left. And you guys got to remember, 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 3 through 4, it says, above all, you must understand that in the last days, scoffers will come, scoffing and following their own evil desires. They will say, where's this coming he promised ever since our ancestors died? Everything goes on as it has since the beginning of creation. So these are those people that are scoffers, that are scoffing our religious beliefs, and they're following their own evil desires by... The funny thing is they used to just follow their own evil desires. Now they're so obsessed with us. They're just obsessed with Christianity. They are obsessed with us more than any other religion in the entire world. They are obsessed with Christianity. There must be something behind that we got their demons itching. They just can't stand it. If they could water you down and make their own version, they love you. But true Christianity, oh, they can't stand it. They can't stomach it. They can't wait for it to be gone. They run from it because they're following their own evil desires. And I'm going to give you a verse, 2 Timothy 3:2-5. Let's go ahead and take a look. It says, people will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous. I would call unholy. Without love, their inclusion is without love. They're unforgiving, meaning they're not willing to accept any type of responsibility. They are slanderous. They are without self-control, brutal, and not lovers of good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people. Have nothing to do with it. Let's go back to the Olympics with Andrew Tate. Again, hats off to Andrew Tate for standing up against evil and people disrespecting. He's not even a Christian.
It doesn't matter, it's a matter of time. Especially now, Romania and all these other countries have opened the border. Millions of people who come here are not Christian. And if you don't say, this is a Christian country and we respect Christianity, they won't respect it either. It's the end. And it's the man's job. It's the job of men to defend things. This is what a man is supposed to do. It's man and woman for a reason, but the man is a fighter. The men have to stand up and fight against these things.
You know what I was thinking when I hear him talk? Is it crazy that a Muslim has your back more than the guy sitting next to you in the pew, or your Christian neighbor who doesn't want any problems? I mean, are we really asking for much? What we're asking for is to say, hey, stand in unison and say, hey, we're not going to stand for this, and we're not going to watch. We're going to choose where our views, we're going to choose where our eye gates go, what we consume, and we're going to also choose where we spend. Imagine if we said unanimously, nope, we want an apology. 2.4 billion people decide We're not watching the Olympics. Then what we have next is we say, well, and on top of that, we want to know who your sponsors are. Oh, Coca-Cola. Hey, I love Coca-Cola. I think I'm going to rock with Pepsi right now. Well, I'm going to rock with something else. These slight inconveniences we can't even do as Christians. And that's the reason why I don't see any real work getting done in the body of Christ if we can't do things that we have a vast amount of alternatives to. We could watch anything in the world. We could just choose to make sure this never plays in any of our houses, and we could stop spending money with several of these sponsors. There are several other non-sponsors out there where we could do business with. That would make a big impact. But the problem is people aren't willing to do that. So if you cannot do something that still is slightly inconvenient, but not really, because you could still conveniently choose alternatives, especially with what you watch, there's so much to watch. There's so much to watch that for you not to be able to do those things just kind of shows you where the body is at present day. And so what he's saying really makes sense and hits home when I look around.
Guys, this is supposed to be the most Christian country in Europe. When they try this crap again, I expect to see you all at the next embassy, wherever it is. Thank you, guys.
And do I feel sorry for the Olympic contestants? I feel, it's disheartening that we won't be watching them this year, but that's part of standing up. They have their moment squandered by a small percentage of the world that wants to push this agenda. It's really shame on them. So sorry if you're, again, them saying sorry if you're offended because the poll said it's great. And then we created exclusion by excluding you. We created inclusion by excluding you and disrespecting you is got to be the worst apology I've ever heard.
So some things are more important than just doing a job. God is the most important thing in the world. He's the true judge. And to sit here and let France mock the country, mock your religion, make fun of every single thing you feel holy. This is the Last Supper. This is everything holy about Christianity. And we say absolutely nothing about it and say, oh, you cannot even complain. What are we doing wrong by saying that this is disgusting?
No.
This is not art.
What's very important to remember is that the European Union gave 100 million euros for France to do this Olympics. So they took your tax money,
they took your money to do
tax
this.
money, and they're making fun of Jesus Christ.
To end this, our silence is our conformity and our acceptance. Our continuance of doing business as usual will continue to show our weakness. And who would want to be a part of something that is so weak? You say that you really believe in God. You believe in who he is. He's the creator of the universe. He is the creator of all. He is our healer. He is our God. We worship him. But when something is said wrong about him, we sit there and just brush it over the rug, and now we don't stand for anything. If you're going to stake your eternity on something and not stand for it,